Right, here we go. Round 8. Both 5-2.
One of them will make it, the other will be going home. They're fighting for their chance to make it.
With the what the commentators failed to mention is if both of them draw, they won't make it. Okay.
So we have here Lachlan Robertson versus Ethan Liverpool. Looks like Lachlan won the dice roll, so choose whether or not to go first or second.
Okay, so Lachlan Robertson versus Ethan Bidwell. Okay, so we're gonna see Punk in action. Here we go.
This is a card we haven't seen a lot during the rest of the rounds of Swiss. We saw it, I believe, in round 1 in Ross Hitchens' Dragon Link, and now we're seeing it again. Summoning probably the only target worth summoning these days. The Punk Zay Ammon is able to activate its effect, paying 600 life points.
How's that?
A Punk monster from your deck to your hand, except Zay Ammon.
So he adds there the no.
How's that, Soap?
Tune.
Yo, Voltec, what's up?
Activated to discard itself, and then
So, one thing that we all need to know and realize is Punk cards are really good in a format where no one plays hand traps.
As much of it, but it is still very powerful. Essentially, the emergency teleport gives you access to this entire play with
Yo, Vortex. Yo, Rated. You ready for some more misplays? Let's go. Let's see it. Backwater, what's up?
Bringing out the Plague Spreader zombie.
And looking to synchro summon into a level 10 monster. I believe this will be Baron de Fleur. There it is. So insulating the combo, putting up a generic negate before committing to any other plays. The Plague Spreader is interesting. I haven't seen that very often. And then going for a Swap Frog.
So we're looking at possibly Punk Spright here.
This could be Punk Spright.
I like it because how it can be used for Gigantic Spright. And you can detach the frog, right?
Is quite scary.
But this deck is much weaker against Start Rolling and more.
Pretty much the entire Sprite line if they are playing.
Because he's avoided going into Chaos Ruler.
Could also see another Swap Frog here, potentially.
Yo, Petty, what's up? Was commenting on YouTube, then realized you should be here. Magic Deflector is something to pick up or not against Runix. Got 3 just in case. Was thinking I should get more just in case they spike. That's a really good idea and suggestion. I think you're right.
Punk engine is that Gigantic Spright is so easy to make that you can combine it with elements like the Punk engine getting to Chris from Halka Fibrat, summoning a level 2 from the deck, and then you basically have access to this entire part of the deck.
Yeah, I quite like the look of this build. I mean,
having
the Baron de Fleur on the build as well makes it so Ethan can't really interact with the Gigantic Spright.
It also notably is a Wind Warrior, so cards like Super Polymerization aren't quite as powerful against a card like Baron de Fleur.
So Ethan's end board here is Toad, Elf, Baron. With Smashers.
One of the things I've noticed during this tournament
he's not losing.
Different ways people have found to get to this.
He's not losing this game.
Totally awesome end board. I think we've seen it in Tearlament and Spright, and now we're seeing it in.
It's Punk, Frogs, Spright. Punk Spright with Frogs.
Accessible.
Punk Spright because Spright plays Frogs. Okay, so we know one Smashers. Likely the other one is going to be a starter. Or it'll be a Call by the Grave, but it's likely to be a starter with Smashers.
Is on Tearlament, so this is one of the sort of fated Power of the Elements mirror matches.
Did Ethan draw a Spright starter?
Danger Bigfoot, one of the better dangers to have in your hand going second. Pitching a red. I saw a Tearlament card in Ethan's hand, so
yeah. He drew starter for turn.
Interesting variants of these decks.
Yeah, he appears to also be playing a little bit of everything. Revealing Danger Jackalope, so going again.
So both decks have a higher ceiling than the standard consistent Spright deck, right? You're playing powerful cards, right? You play better cards, but you're trading consistency, but not too much.
Danger Spright? Is that what I'm up against?
Danger Tearlaments Spright.
Letting all these dangers resolve does have 2 negates on field.
Splashing Spright monsters. Oh no, he's playing Smashers.
Everyone know this is round 8,
yeah.
not top 8. If there's any confusion, we are doing the last round of Swiss before cutting to top 32 today.
A lot of lists are actually just
Yeah, so
playing
after
a
this
small
round, there will
Sprite
be
package.
a small interval when we get
One
all the,
smashes,
top
one
32
starter.
deck lists, together. We'll be bringing you a deck breakdown of top 32, as well as the top 32 live.
That's right.
So he's activating the Tearlaments field spell, showing Lachlan now that he is in fact on another engine.
Yeah, I mean, we've just carded, what, 3 Sprite cards off of these dangers? Not what you want to see. Maybe one of the reasons that the dangers can be a bit of a liability, losing some powerful cards.
I always do find it quite interesting with 2-day events, Lucas.
So
how
Robertson's
everyone goes home and
allowed
sort of like does a little bit of
Ethan
research
to get
and
this
asks
far
about
without using Toad.
what they potentially could be going up against. Do you feel like these players would have known what they were on?
Yeah, he should
Oh,
set
for
it.
sure, especially when you have a record like 5 and 2.
You should set the field spell always, chat. So Snow has a last card to banish.
What about my deck? Could I have played better? What could I have, approached differently in those matchups? So I expect fully that these players have done their research here.
Yeah, so we saw the Spright smashes there negated by Totally Awesome.
I don't know why he put Nessie in
With
defense.
the field spell.
Oh,
It's a mistake.
And also
You
you
could have
can
gone
see
battle
that Lachlan
phase.
has opted to set the field spell.
Ooh, yeah, summons the nice Starlight Rare, the Dark Charmer.
Yeah, Ethan showing off that he really likes his cardboard. Now Lachlan's Spright Smash is activating. Doesn't want that Dark to stick on the field. Potentially the danger Bigfoot. Yeah, hitting the Bigfoot. It does have 3,000 attack points, so it does contest, I think, pretty much everything on Lachlan's.
Why is he using it now? Chat. Why is he using it now?
Now going for the danger Tsuchinoko.
Ethan's lost this game. You should negate with Toad here.
I've seen 4 different dangers activated.
Yep.
This
You should set the snack as well.
And act. Yeah, opting to.
Toad should now add back.
Totally awesome. Saying, actually, you know what? With 1 card left in hand, I think I can deal with what you have.
You made a mistake here, though.
Shows off a bit of the danger, I suppose, in running the dangers in Tearlaments.
He should have sent the swap frog from his hand to the graveyard. Yeah.
They're not particularly good at pushing through.
So his Toad's still on the field. Because you can send from the hand.
So I think he obviously was trying to hit the 1 Tearlament card in hand, and it just didn't pay off for him.
I think, yeah, the last card in his hand is the Tearlament Shiren. Yep.
And that won't do it for him. Yeah, Lachlan will be feeling pretty good seeing what he discarded to the graveyard and managing to stop everything that Ethan.
There's a starter.
I think one of the key things
This will get the second
watching
red.
these matches is that if you aren't able to remove these
I guess blue.
just
Okay.
incredibly powerful monsters from your opponent's field, you're in trouble. If that Baron de Fleur, if that Sprite Elf lives through the turn, then the follow-up turn you're presenting is just so... it eventually, effectively wins you the game.
Yeah, so we see there another Sprite starter at the end phase, we assume, going into a Sprite Blue.
I believe actually at the end of battle...
It is a metal phase, I apologize.
Ethan is going to try and attack the Baron de Fleur here to destroy the Dark by battle and attempt to search for a Dark monster. Something to allow him to activate that Tearlament Shiren. I expect the Baron de Fleur will negate this, if it has not used its effect already.
So he couldn't get a Baron, but
Yeah,
he
so
could lose to
Lachlan
mine.
does think a little bit about this one. The 1 card in hand could be a Mystic Mine.
So he has opted to negate with the Baron de Fleur, and Ethan picks up his cards.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that, thinking there is important, because if the last card in hand is Mystic Mine, you have to think, do I have a way to beat that card? Because, of course, all of the negates on Lachlan's field had been used at that point.
I think that was a good showcase there.
Which is why he shouldn't have negated, chat.
The insulated play of Baron
You shouldn't have negated there.
helped there with, I mean, he didn't even need it till the last card that Ethan played, but it shut that field.
Dark is insane in this matchup. Ceiling a blue, going jet, starter red. Makes no sense to smash it right now. I agree. Pixies, smash it on Dark is good because he won't summon them. He needs to summon to his
I think
own.
it's a pretty effective added benefit of having an extra negate like Baron de Fleur on the field.
The Bigfoot could trade with the Baron.
To the next game, what
That's
cards
why he
did
smashed
Ethan
it.
really decide in against that Punk engine?
So one of the notable things about the Punk deck is hand traps are a lot better against it. Cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, cards like Nibiru the Primal Being. And I think if Ethan is boarding any of those, I think you are at best to put them in. One thing that the Punk deck has over the regular Sprite deck is just how much extra they get to use. There may be a Fairy Tale Snow, there may be additional spells and traps that he's putting in, and if you have nothing to stop Lachlan, it could be really tough. Of course, Ethan going first here, probably just putting in cards that you would want to see going first, taking out, as I can see there, some Dark Ruler no more. Not very good when you're going first. If that is what he chooses to do, I assume he will.
Yeah, he is choosing to do that. That's why he said I don't want no more.
Tearlament players playing things like Eradicator Epidemic Virus. We have seen them play Dimensional Barrier, powerful trap cards that are essentially designed to put an end to Sprite's turn. Seeing the Punk cards makes cards like Dimensional Barrier a little bit stronger, I think.
What trap cards are those, commentator?
See, Lachlan will be feeling pretty good going into game 2 in this pressure match. As we said, round 8 here of the Oceanic Championships 2022.
Yeah, bringing you live round 8, the bubble. 2 players who would
Chat, how's the audio?
top cut slot.
The music, the commentators, me. Does it all fit well? Anything that need tweaking on? Because we'll be here all day until the finals. So the finals concludes. So we got Curse Spell, Enchantress, Nessie.
Ethan gonna start it off here.
Ethan's playing a lot of, definitely a weird build. Perfect, easy.
Magician's Souls.
Now this is a card we haven't seen yet today. Magician Souls is a card that will send the Illusion of Chaos to the graveyard to special summon itself to the field.
How does it sound when I'm talking over a commentator?
Some of the adventure token engine in this deck.
Because I gotta be real.
Cards are commonly paired against
Sometimes it's just nonsense what they're saying.
This is a dark monster I can get on my field relatively easily. And there we see Fateful Adventure. Activating Danger Nessie. So only 2 cards left in hand.
Enchantress or Nessie.
Quite a risky.
So Ethan's got
I must say.
2 chances to hit the Enchantress here. If it hits the Nessie, he can get Jackalope, right?
Monster, so he's effectively hoping to win a 50-50 here.
Well, it's not a 50-50, really.
It's Water Enchantress. My mistake. Apologies.
So here he gets to draw a card. It may also trigger the Faithful Adventure if he wants, but
Looks like he's opting not to. Perhaps opened the Draco back, but I don't know why you would set that.
It's a 25% to miss the
So that was the best
Enchantress, because you're getting 2 searches from danger with 2 cards. That makes
Pretty
sense.
devastating.
so we're seeing Right of Aramecia activated.
There's another engine we haven't seen today, or at least seen in this tournament so far. The Adventure Token engine. Still very powerful.
Adventure cards aren't being seen play. He's gone past the field spell, the equip spell.
Now is going to...
He is now activating the Faithful Adventure to add Dracoback, the Rideable Dragon, to his hand.
And then this is exactly what the Magician's Souls is for. Being able to send those spare spells and traps at this point for extra value.
You can tell Ethan is just distracted by being on the feature match.
Did he draw the Tearlament field spell off of that Nessie? I think he might have.
Okay, I mean, it's not as good as he's making it sound. There's like loads of cards he can draw here.
That is the best case scenario for Ethan. That's about as good as it gets.
Is it?
So the Adventure engine almost provides the same sort of thing that the Punk did for Lachlan in game 1.
Someone's Griffin. In defense. Why don't you play in defense, Ethan?
And he did draw the field spell. That is quite an incredible stroke of luck for Ethan. Exactly what he wants to see. 1 game down.
He's drawing 2 from Souls regardless.
At this point.
I don't know. Chat, I'm not in a huge fan of the board Ethan's got right now. I don't think it's that great. Okay.
Hoping here with the 2 draws off the Magician's Souls, sending the field spell. Does find a monster, and that's exactly what you need for Shiren to be able to activate, do its thing.
That's what Frog.
Frog as well. Wow, just drawing everything here. Swap Frog, discarding the Water Enchantress at the temple, sending it to the graveyard, and then sending a level 2 Arca monster from deck's grave.
So we're on turn 1 coming down. Spright Alpha make an appearance in a second. Give a gigantic Spright with Nessie and turn Nessie and Salt into a Link 2. Then overload Swap Frog and Link 2 into gigantic Spright, and then play that way. He's drawing everything he wants. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's alright, TT.
Still unsure of what the face down card there is that Ethan set.
Yeah, we did not get a good look at that. Judging by the fact that he set it with only 3 cards left in hand, I assume it is maybe a super polymerization or something high impact that he wants to hold on to.
Should he make IP Mask here with Souls and Nessie?
Swap Frog to return.
Yeah, and then he can, he'll have Alf. He'll make Alf following up. Then he can bring back the IP in the following turn.
Special summon itself, and then send a card from the hand to the graveyard.
So he'll have to summon to his extra deck.
Use the Swap Frog. Send any monster back to your hand. Cost. To gain an additional normal summon of a frog monster. That's not the part of the effect you generally use.
Okay, now 3 cards are going to be milled. Pointer.
Pointer, Spright Red.
Oh, okay, so the face down's a pointer then. The face down's a pointer with Lois.
So I guess one notable thing about this deck, because it is playing so many different kinds of cards, you are less likely, it seems, to actually luck into sending a Tearlament from deck to grave. But with a board like this, a field like this, I don't think it really matters.
Cool, so he wants to make Sprite Elf first.
So you're summoning the Spright Elf.
And then summon the Swap Frog.
One of the main features of our
Swap Frog will send another Swap Frog. Banish the Swap Frog for Tonin.
I think
Summon
Spright
that.
Elf has shown up in every match. I could be wrong. Definitely the secret card of the day.
Yep, you can summon back Swap Frog.
Once again, I think we're going to see here a totally awesome hit the field.
He should have put it in the other zone so it's not targeted. It can't be targeted by card effects. It's these small plays that really can cost you.
Lachlan staring down the field that Ethan's putting out here.
It depends on what's in his hand. On
I-
one hand, it's
I have a feeling Ethan's going to get
advantage.
sphere moded.
On the other hand, it currently loses to a single copy of Dark Ruler no more.
I think he's going to get sphere moded, chat.
Unless the face down can interact with that, but
Yeah, so seeing a pointer of the Red Lotus sent to graveyard means it could be that. However, Ethan needs a card in the hand to activate that card. Currently, I don't think he has one. Of course, there is always a chance that he could access one, but this current board, this field of monsters, I don't think
Ethan's quite slow with this deck.
has a way.
And what it shows is he doesn't really test much or goldfish when he's at home, which means he's more likely to go into time than a player who is experienced or does goldfish with a deck when they're at home. So this goes to time.
Goes for it.
Blame Ethan's preparation. Okay. So you have a full field. I really don't know why Griffin's in attack mode, chat. Do we know why it's in attack mode?
Another copy of Swap Frog.
Because it's game 2 and 3 now, where Lightning Storm comes into play.
Let's go.
Game 1, you can put it in attack mode. Cool, it's never getting Lightning Stormed. But game 2 and 3, it could be.
Another Link monster, perhaps IP Masquerena here. Yep.
Do you think he wants to stall for the draw? No, he can't, bro. No, because
There we see totally
if they both draw, they both won't top, most likely.
The one thing I'm aware this deck is capable of doing is using a card like Spright Elf, and then as Chainlink 2 activating IP Masquerena, summoning a Topologic Bomber Dragon, and then resolving the Spright Elf summoning to Bomber Dragon's Arrow is a particularly potent play this deck is capable of. However, it's usually a lot better when you have Tearlament monsters on the field that also will activate.
there's your pointer, but he does not
ooh.
have a card in hand.
Yeah, so you cannot activate a pointer, you must reveal a card in your hand, and there's Ethan realizing it. And there's the Dark Ruler no more.
That's punished.
Wow, exactly the line that we talked about. That is unfortunate.
Man, this Ethan is terrible.
Here, starting with the Plague Spreader Zombie, special summon in Spright Blue. Oh wow,
Ethan has nothing. Ethan has no cards in grave. I don't think he saw
What?
Fairy Snow.
What? That commentator was like, he's got the best board. He's drawing everything he needs to draw. This is looking really favorable for Ethan. Fucking hell, man. And now you're saying he's got nothing. What?
Goes right for a Divine Arsenal A Zeus here, which it looks
Come
like
on,
he
man.
is. That whole board is
Getting
going to
Zeus.
disappear.
Getting Zeus, bro.
Attacks over the IP Masquerade.
This is it. This is over.
Down a Magician, into the Zeus. And Divine, Arsenal, double A's
If you went into Gigantic to blue to jet to hold a card in hand, that would have been better for sure.
And just like that, this game is looking pretty decided.
Now, I think Robertson can still play.
Ronan Toad in
You can try and make like a toad.
cards.
He has already normal summoned.
Emergency teleport or
Oh, Plague Spreader. Okay.
Punk wants to hit? No,
Yeah,
actually,
and
Plague Spreader.
jet effect.
Summoning Spright Jet, and that is, I think that locks the game up. I don't think there's a single card Ethan can make.
Smashes will lock the game, but you can get starter as well because you can do the you can have a controlling board with carrot and red, but you won't really need carrot because Ethan went first, meaning there's no real spells that you want to negate over having a red, which will negate pretty much everything that you want to negate.
Which would have dealt with the Dark Ruler no more.
I mean, we did talk about it. That was one of the downsides of a pointer of the Red Lotus. Not only does it cost 2,000 life points, you have to have a card in hand.
Yeah, we know that, man.
Gigantic Sprite here, summoning out the Swap Frog.
I think the one way Ethan could have played around that was linking off the Totally Awesome and using its effect to add a card back, and then just saying, I'll reborn it off the Sprite Elf on your turn.
Like, let's be real, yeah. It's pretty obvious that you need a card in hand for a pointer. Okay.
Could have proved more.
It's not like it's a ruling. Okay. It's literally what the card reads.
So now seeing Lachlan going down the regular Sprite combo.
The amount of times I've witnessed people forget to keep a card for a pointer, it's ridiculous.
What are you hoping to draw
Bro,
on top of the deck here?
it's commonly played now as well.
He does have that.
The amount of misplays I've seen this tournament. We should have a misplay counter in the bottom left corner. Just like a misplay counter. How many times has someone misplayed?
More than one card. I mean, he has the Ronin Toad in hand.
I think you may be right. I think Pot of Desires is the best draw. You can use the Rite of Aramesia maybe.
What?
Looks like he's drawn a monster.
Bro, there's a toad in the field.
Sprite blue.
Pot of Desires is not the best draw here. You thought the field spell was the best draw, but it wasn't the best draw. Okay? And then you proceeded to say he has nothing after saying he drew all the best cards. Come on, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, this is...
And he also has an answer for the Enchantress, being able to search the Rite of Aramesia with the Totally Awesome.
Bro, a lot of people spend a lot of their time watching the game, investing their time, and money even, okay, to enjoy watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. I would expect a decent commentator, wouldn't we? Come on. Right. So Robertson locks top cut. He makes top 32.
So Lachlan wins round 8 and is in with a good chance to hit the top 30.
Yeah, so he's locked. 6-2 is locked. He's locked for sure. So he's definitely in top cut. Ethan's out of the tournament. And Robertson's moving on to top 32 with his Punk Sprite featuring frogs, etc. But yeah, Punk Sprite.